we're fixing up a very nice apartment building here. It's in a very nice neighborhood in Onondaga County, New York. It's a very historical building. It's built just before the turn of the century. We're going to replace some outlets that are painted over and worn out. Here in the country I was born in, we use 14 American wire gauge on 15 amps, 12 American wire gauge on 20 amps. Black is live, white is neutral, the bare and the green is the ground. Red and blue are also live colors. However, you may find white live in a switch loop or 220, 240 volt circuit where the appliance does not require a neutral. So I'll show you how to replace some worn out or damaged wall receptacles or ones that have been painted over. You might notice the very nice artwork on the wood here on the doors. The landlord has a very nice reputation around town, and it's a pleasure to help him out and do some electrical maintenance and make some YouTube videos. He's a very good person to rent from. He takes very good care of his properties and has a very good reputation around town for being a very good landlord. So we'll go and replace a worn out, damaged receptacle. It's nice to see the Eaton electrical devices are made here in the country I was born in. Okay, we have this older outlet down here that we're going to take out. It's probably from the 50s, if I'm not mistaken. They have new wire. Oh, they got newer wire onto this. That's nice. Okay. Wow. Okay, they had two wires on one screw, and that's not good. And they put two wires on that screw and jump down. That's not the right way to do it. So they did take and they put a green screw in the back of the box. It's very short wire. So we have I'm going to take this clamp out of here. And we'll put this back in. And we'll get a ground tail, and we'll bond the ground wire to the box so we can get a ground wire coming up to our outlet here. We'll got a piece of our 14 wire here. We'll just get a ground tail, 14 inches of wire. We'll make our ground loop. We'll get our hot wire up out of the way here. Put it around our screw, the direction our screw turns. And we'll close it the direction our screw turns too. A piece of 14 is better with the screw head because if I put number 12 around it, it would not quite fit under the head all the way around. So 14 is better for this screw type of screw because it's a smaller head. So we'll just tighten it up. Now we're bonding to our box with our ground. tighten it up nicely. Okay, now we have our outlet here. The black wire goes on the brass screw, which is the narrow slot. The white goes on the silver screw, which is the wider slot. And the ground goes on the green screw. So we'll close the screws we're not using. So we'll put our white. I'm going to see if this is long enough to go around our. Yep, that was long enough to go around our screw the way we want it. Close our loop the direction our screw turns. Get our copper under the screw head all the way around. That's what we want. Now we're going to keep our ground down on this end of the box so we don't touch our live terminals. So we're going to fold it so it stays back here. So we'll bring it up here. We'll put our ground wire around our green screw. There we go, that's what we want. So we're going to turn this around and shape this so it goes into the box the way we want it. Now we'll get our hot wire hooked up. Looks like somebody stripped it with a jackknife, so I'm going to open this up all the way here. And I'm going to clean our strip here a little bit better. There we go. Get our strip cleaned a little bit better there. Make our loop the direction our screw turns. Then we'll put our wire around our screw. We're going to clip a little off of this here because it's a little bit long. There we go. We'll put it around our screw, the direction our screw turns like that there. Make sure it's nice and tight. Okay, now we'll just push this back into our box here. Keeping our ground wire back away from everything here. Our ground wire is staying back away from everything there. We'll make sure it's nice and straight here. Now we're ready to put our cover on there. We'll have to go get some covers. So this is the older outlet I took out. I'm thinking this is probably from the 50s, and there's how they connected the wires. I'm going to just save this outlet for a souvenir because they don't make this anymore. I'm not going to throw it away. I'm just going to clean it up and save it as a collector's item. They had put that wire around the screw backwards. So on this outlet, we have our wires around the screw the proper way. Now this one is all covered up with paint, and you don't want paint on your outlets because the paint chips can go inside and cause problems with your connections. Let's hope there's newer wire on this one too. Yes, there is newer wire. So we'll unscrew it from our box here. So we will take our black one off the brass screw here. This one's only wired with 14, but it's on a 15 amp breaker. But in a kitchen, you're supposed to use all 12 in the kitchen. So that is kind of short. That wire is kind of short there. And they got the white wire here. So let's see if, yes, there is another ground screw we can bond to up here. We'll come off of this one up here. Okay, so we got a piece of wire here. We'll just strip all our insulation off of it so they know it's a ground. Okay, so we stripped it so it's bare so we know it's a ground. So we'll make our loop and we'll put it on here the direction our screw turns. Okay, so we'll get it up in here. We'll get it back here on that ground screw in the back there. Get our pliers back in here. We'll close it the direction our screw turns. There we go. We'll tighten it up. Okay, it's nice and snug there. We'll push it down so it stays down here on the bottom. Okay, so we'll close the screws we're not going to be using here. So that way you don't touch the side of the box with something you don't want it to touch. And we'll put our white around our silver colored screw. And we'll make sure, Yeah, we're going to strip just a little more off of this here. Make our loop the direction our screw turns. Put it around the direction our screw turns here. Close our loop the direction our screw turns. There's our white wire. Come down here, we'll get our ground on the green screw here. This wire has the ground in it, so I'm going to guess it's probably 25, 30 years old. You always put your wire around the screw the direction the screw turns. Look at it, make sure your copper's under the screw head all the way around. So we'll fold this over this way. We're going to keep our ground down here on the bottom. And now we'll get our black wire over here on the brass colored screw. We'll make our loop the direction our screw turns. So I twist it this way. We'll get it under our brass screw up here. We'll close our loop the direction our screw turns. Like that. Okay, that's what we want right there. So I'll make sure it's tight, like that. And now we can just put our wires into our box. And I'll just keep our ground wire down away from everything here. And we'll just get it to go into our box here. Where's our other screw hole right here? And now we can stick our wood cover back on here. Now let's get the paint off and the old one off of here. Yeah, it's kind of recessed back in there a little bit, so you might have to get a new cover for it. We'll just get a nice brand new cover that fits it properly. There's a neat old radiator that's probably from the turn of the century. Alrighty, so thanks for watching. That is how to replace outlets here in the country I was born in. We're upgrading a very nice, beautiful apartment complex. Peace. Thanks for watching. I'll show you a couple other features of this beautiful old home. Beautiful glass door handles, those are nice. Another beautiful old radiator. Another neat old radiator. If you look closely, you can see the designing across the top of it. And that is the fireplace with the original marble around it. You can see the huge hinges on the door.